A whisper in the wind. The wind howled through the desolate streets of Eldridge Hollow, a small town nestled between the jagged peaks of the Blackthorn Mountains. It was a place where shadows danced under the pale moonlight, and secrets lay buried beneath layers of dust and decay. The townsfolk spoke in hushed tones about the old Whitmore Estate, a crumbling mansion that loomed at the edge of town like a specter from a forgotten era. It was said that those who ventured too close could hear whispers carried on the wind, echoes of sorrow, despair, and something far more sinister. On a chilly October evening, as Halloween approached, a group of friends, Maya, Jake, Lila, and Tom, decided to test their courage. They were thrill-seekers at heart, always chasing the next adrenaline rush. The Whitmore Estate had become an urban legend among their peers. It was time to confront it head-on. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they set out under a sky thick with clouds that threatened rain. As they approached the estate, an oppressive silence enveloped them. The air felt heavy, charged with an energy that made their skin prickle. The mansion stood before them like a gaping maw, its windows dark and hollow. Ivy clung to its walls like skeletal fingers reaching for salvation. "This place is creepy," Lila whispered, her voice barely audible over the rustling leaves. "Creepy is good," Jake replied with a smirk. "It means we're in for some fun." They pushed open the creaking gate that led to the overgrown path winding up to the front door. Each step felt like an invitation to something ancient and malevolent, lurking just beyond their sight. As they reached the porch, Maya hesitated. "Are we really doing this?" she asked, her heart racing. "Of course. We can't turn back now," Tom said with feigned bravado as he knocked on the door, a hollow sound that echoed into nothingness. To their surprise, the door swung open with an eerie creak, as if welcoming them into its dark embrace. They stepped inside cautiously, flashlights illuminating dust motes swirling in the stale air. The grand foyer was adorned with faded portraits, whose eyes seemed to follow them as they moved deeper into the house. "Let's split up," Jake suggested, his voice dripping with excitement. "We'll cover more ground." Maya frowned but nodded reluctantly. She didn't want to be left alone in this haunted relic of despair. They agreed to meet back in 30 minutes and ventured off into different rooms. Maya wandered into what appeared to be a parlor filled with rotting furniture, draped in white sheets like ghosts waiting for release. As she explored, she felt an unsettling chill creep down her spine. A whisper brushed against her ear like a lover's caress, but carried an unmistakable tone of warning. "Asterisk, leave this place." She spun around but found only shadows lurking in corners where light dared not tread. Heart pounding, she pressed on until she stumbled upon an old diary lying open on a dusty table. Its pages were yellowed and brittle. Words scrawled in frantic handwriting caught her eye. "Asterisk, they come when you call them." A shiver ran through her as she read further about rituals performed by long-dead inhabitants of the estate, summoning spirits from beyond for companionship or revenge against those who wronged them. Meanwhile, Jake had found himself in what appeared to be a library filled with tomes bound in leather and dust-covered secrets waiting to be uncovered. He pulled one from the shelf titled Asterisk, Whispers of Eldridge Hollow Asterisk. As he flipped through its pages filled with tales of madness and despair, he felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over him, a feeling that he was not alone. Suddenly he heard it, a soft whispering echoing through the room. "Asterisk, join us! Join us!" It was seductive yet terrifying. He could feel his resolve wavering as shadows began to swirl around him like smoke. In another part of the house, Lila stood frozen in front of a cracked mirror, reflecting not just her image, but something darker lurking behind her. A figure cloaked in shadow with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce through her very soul. She gasped and turned away, only to find herself face to face with Tom, who had just entered. "Did you see that?" Lila stammered breathlessly. "See what?" Tom asked skeptically, but then noticed her pale face and wide eyes filled with terror. Before they could discuss further, Maya burst into the room looking frantic. "We need to leave, now!" "What happened?" Tom demanded. "I found something terrible," Maya exclaimed breathlessly as she recounted her discovery about summoning spirits from beyond, the very spirits that seemed intent on claiming them as their own. Suddenly, laughter echoed through the halls, an unsettling sound that sent chills down their spines. It was followed by whispers growing louder until they became deafening. Asterisk. Stay. Stay. Forever. Panic surged through them as they raced toward the exit, only to find it slammed shut by an unseen force. Shadows twisted around them like serpents ready to strike. They could feel cold breath on their necks, as if unseen hands reached out from beyond. "We have to break down the door!" Jake shouted desperately as he pounded against it, while Lila screamed for help. But then came another whisper, this one softer yet more insistent. "Asterisk, you called us here. Now you must stay." The walls began closing in around them. Darkness seeped from every corner until it enveloped them completely, a suffocating blanket of despair that threatened to swallow them whole. In one final act of defiance against fate itself, Maya screamed out into the void, "We don't belong here! Let us go!" For a moment there was silence, a stillness so profound it felt like time itself had stopped. But then came an answer. "Asterisk, you are ours now." With one last surge of strength fueled by sheer terror, they hurled themselves against the door together, and miraculously it burst open. They stumbled out into the night air, gasping for breath, as if emerging from beneath icy waters. But when they turned back toward the mansion, their hearts pounding wildly, they saw it standing there unchanged, yet somehow more sinister than before. Shadows flickered behind every window like hungry eyes watching their escape. As they fled down the path toward safety, the whispers faded into nothingness, but deep within each of them lingered an echo. "Asterisk, you called us here." And somewhere within Eldridge Hollow's haunted history lay buried truths waiting patiently for new souls brave enough, or foolish enough, to awaken them once more. The wind howled again as if mocking their escape, a reminder that some places are never truly free from darkness. Some whispers are meant to be heard only by those willing to listen closely enough.